Hello Legacy Sabers! So today we're going to look at classifying conic sections. What you're going to want to have on you, your notebook, you're going to maybe want a calculator, do some simple calculations, but you're definitely going to want your thinking cap on today because this is a slightly harder section. So, there is a general conic equation. So we've looked at circles, we've looked at hyperbolas, and we've looked at ellipse. But now, there is a general equation that is to the second degree, so that means that there's x squareds and y squareds, or x squareds, but this one has x and y's, and that's the general form. ax squared plus bxy plus cy squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0. Now, we need to be able to take that really stupidly large equation and make it into a general form of a conic that we already recognize. To do that, we're going to have to remember how to complete the square. So, let's remember how to complete the square, guys. So, remember, completing the square, you had to have nothing in front of the x squared term. So I can't have this 2 here. So notice, guys, I'm just going to divide by 2, and I'm going to get x squared plus 4x minus 7, right? Equals 0. Then, we had to kick the back term to the other side to make room for blank. Do you guys remember making room for blank? And then we put 7 plus blank. So if we add blank on one side, we got to add blank on the other. Now, to find blank, we took our b term, we divided by 2, and then we squared. So, 4 divided by 2, 2 squared, 4. And I'm going to put blank on both sides as 4. Now, on this side here, guys, we can factor this now. And remember, it came out as x plus 2 times x plus 2, right? Because that's what that would come out as. Because my AC would be 4, and 2 times 2 would be 4, and that adds together to give me 4. That equals 11. Now, x plus 2 times x plus 2, remember, we could write that as x plus 2 squared. And then we were able to solve from there. We square rooted both sides. We got x plus 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 11. Then we subtracted 2, and we got x equals negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 11. And we got that for our final answer. Now, completing the square, we're actually not going to have to solve. We're going to have to get to this part right here before we square rooted both sides. So let's look at how to classify a conic. So I have this equation here, 4x squared plus y squared minus 8x minus 8 equals 0. I don't know what this thing is yet. I don't know. It could be a circle, it could be an ellipse, it could be a hyperbola. Let's check and see what it's going to turn into. So, very first thing, I'm going to first get the x and y terms together. And you'll see why I'm going to do that in a little bit. So, I'm going to split here. So I got 4x squared, and I'm going to move this 8x right beside it. And I'm going to have y squared, whoops, it's minus 8, not plus 8. There we go. Subtract 8 equals 0. Then, I'm going to move the number to the other side. So I'm going to add 8 to both sides. And I'm going to get 4x squared minus 8x plus y squared equals 8. Now I'm going to complete the square for just the x squared term. Because notice I have an 4x squared and an 8x. I don't have anything just y. So I'm going to complete the square. Oop, that's not a square. There we go. On the x. Sometimes you're also going to have to do it with y. And we'll look at a couple with that as well. So let's complete the square here. So I'm going to make a little parentheses around the 4x squared minus 8x plus blank. And I got plus y squared here. And I'm going to have 8 plus blank. Now, notice, guys, I have this 4 right here, right? I could take a 4 out. So I'm going to divide both things by 4, and that's going to sit outside the parentheses. So I'm going to have this plus blank plus y squared equals 8 plus, now notice guys, I took a 4 out, right? So since I took the 4 out, I'm going to actually have 4 times my blank, whatever I took out, because ultimately there was a 4 sitting out there, right? So now I can figure out what my blank's going to be. So divide by 2, -1, square that, I'm going to get 1. So my blank is 1. So then this inside right here, I can rewrite that as x minus 1 squared. And I still have this y squared equals, that's 12 over there. Now, I need to be equal to 1. Because notice, guys, I have something in front of the x squared term. That can't be. You always cannot have anything in front. If that's the case, most likely you need to divide this number out. So let's divide the 12 on both sides. So I'm going to get, well, x minus 1 squared over 3 plus y squared over 12 equals 1. So now I'm going to look and think, what kind of equation is this? Is this an ellipse, a circle, or a hyperbola? Well, it's an x, I have fractions, right? And I'm adding. So this is actually an ellipse. So this is an ellipse, and it has a center at 1, 0. Let's try another one here. So I have an x squared, y squared, and I have an x and a y plus 1. So let's group the x squareds, my x terms together. And then I'm going to group my y's together. And I still have this plus 1 on the other side. So let's kick him to the other side. Equals -1. Now I'm going to start doing completing the square stuff. So I'm going to put blank for my x's, and then let's put a blank for my y's. So then I'm going to have equals -1 plus my blank for x's plus my blank for y's, because we're doing basically 2 completing the square problems on the same side, right? So then let's fill in my blanks. So divide by 2 square, looks like I'm going to get a 1 there. Divide by 2 on the 4, 2 squared, 4. So I'm going to have a 1 and a 4. This is going to turn out to be x minus 1 squared, because 1, right? 1 and -1 and -1 will give me a -2. And then I'm going to get y plus 2 squared equals 4. Now notice, guys, nothing in front of here, nothing in front of there. So I'm actually done. So no fractions. So it's got to be a circle. So I have a circle with a center of 1, -2. And if you remember, this was r squared, so I'm going to have a radius of 2 on this circle. Let's try one more. So I got 4x squared minus y squared minus 16x minus 4y minus 4. So let's group our x terms and our y terms together. Minus y squared minus 4y minus 4 equals 0. Okay, kick him to the other side. And then I'm going to also kind of group my terms with parentheses here. Notice how the negative, I'm going to carry it with the y squared so we can kind of see it. Now, notice, guys, I do have to take something out of here, so let's take 4 out. And then I'm going to also put in my blank right away. So I'm going to have plus blank plus, it doesn't look like a whole lot, but remember, guys, there's technically a -1 right here. So I do need to take out a -1, so I have nothing sitting in front. So I'm going to have plus 4y plus blank. So then on this side, I'm going to have 4 plus 4 times my blank plus -1 times my blank. -4 divided by 2, -2 square 4. 4 divided by 2, 2, 4 as well. Let's put 4s over here. So this is going to become 4 times x minus 2 squared. And then I'm just going to make that a -1. Y plus 2 squared, right? Because this is going to be a -2 because I need a -4. And then this is going to be a +2 because I need a +4. And then I got 4 plus 16 minus 4 on that side. So all of this is going to become just 16. So notice, guys, I do have some numbers sitting in front. So let's divide by 16 on this side as well. So I'm going to have x minus 2 squared over 4. And then that -1, I can just basically make it a minus, right? So that would be y plus 2 squared over 16 equals 1. This is a hyperbola, right? I'm subtracting, I have some fractions, so this is a hyperbola. It looks like I have a center of 2, -2. And that's the end of this video. See you later, Sabers.